Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you to everyone who attempted the tutorial that was posted in the Google form. Okay, congratulations to all of you for participating and giving your best effort to answer all the questions that was given. Okay, the reason that I'm doing this video is because I want to discuss about the questions, and I hope by by doing this exercise, it will recall back your memories and recall back my about my lecture. So I prefer doing it in video is because personally, okay, I find it uncomfortable when there is a real-time session because we are staying at home. Okay, so I mean, for me, okay, personally, I think that I prefer doing it in video so that you can watch this video any time of the day, okay, any time of the week or month, right? So now most of you got this right, okay. This picture shows passive diffusion, and passive diffusion has two types of drug transport. The A is the aqueous diffusion, okay, whereby the water soluble drugs will pass through the pores or the aqueous channel. As for the B, it is lipid diffusion, okay. You all answered this well, whereby the water soluble drugs will pass through, the lipid soluble drugs will pass through the cell membrane, which is also made of phospholipid. So the drug will be dissolved through the membrane. Okay. Next, C is a facilitated diffusion or carrier-mediated diffusion. Okay, there's also channel-mediated diffusion. So all these carrier-mediated or channel-mediated are facilitated diffusion, right? It's because it allows diffusion of large soluble compounds such as sugars. Okay, not so large, but sugars and amino acid to pass through a concentration gradient. Okay, while for D, it is a movement which occurs against the concentration gradient. For the passive, it was through the concentration gradient, but for the active, it's against the concentration gradient. So that's why they need energy, right? Such as in sodium, potassium, ATP pump. Okay, the next one is endocytosis. Okay, this one usually they occur against the concentration gradient, just like active transport, but it allows specific membrane proteins or large molecules of proteins and to pass through the membrane, and there will be engulfment of that proteins and to form a vacuum. Okay. Now, I think most of you got this right. Okay, it's just that the question was made as tick the correct answer. So some of you did not tick all the correct answers. So that's why maybe it affects your results. But don't worry, this is just an exercise and this is just a tutorial, right? So don't worry about the results. Okay, it will not be counted for your continuous assessment. Okay. So now, okay, acidic drugs are ionized in acidic environment. Okay, this is false. Okay, because acidic drugs is ionized in basic environment. Okay, because it gets ionized and then only it will be absorbed. Next, basic drugs are better absorbed in the intestine. This is true. Okay, I think the first 12 respondents, maybe the statement wrote stomach, but thanks to one of your friends, she highlighted this and I have corrected the question. So basic drugs are better absorbed in the intestine. Okay, acidic drugs are better absorbed in the stomach. Okay, basic drugs in basic urine undergoes ionization. This is false, right? Because basic drugs in acidic urine undergoes ionization, just like this one is opposite this one. Now, most basic drugs are lipid soluble. This is false, right? Okay, because lipid solubles are mostly acidic drugs. Okay, water soluble drugs favor excretion. This is true. Weak acidic drugs in basic environment are more lipid soluble. When it is ionized, of course, it is more water soluble, not lipid soluble, right? Okay, weak basic drugs in acidic environment are more water soluble. Okay, this is true. pKa is the ratio of non-ionized to ionized. This is wrong because it is actually the pKa of the ionized to non-ionized. Right. So now we go on to the next question. Okay. 97% got this right. Okay, well done. Okay, well done to you. So ionic trapping happens in aspirin. Okay, you can read this in your notes. Right, next. Okay. Bioavailability. Okay, for the bioavailability, it is the fraction of unchanged drug that reach the systemic circulation. That is true. Bioavailability increase when the drug size is small. Of course, that's true. Bioavailability increase in large surface area of absorption. True. And bioavailability is increased when the drugs are in lipid soluble form. Is true. And bioavailability is the ratio between area under the curve intravenous injection divided by the AUC oral times 100. Okay, this is wrong. Okay, why it is wrong? Okay, because bioavailability is the ratio between the oral, the area under the curve of oral divided by the area under the curve of intravenous injection. Okay. For example, 100 milligram of a drug administered orally, only 50 milligram of the drug will reach the systemic circulation because the bioavailability is 50%. Okay, because the 100% is the intravenous. So that's why we calculate the bioavailability of the oral versus the intravenous because the intravenous is the 100%. Okay, because the bioavailability of a drug is 100% because it enters the systemic circulation directly. Alright. Okay, next. Most of you got this right. Okay, almost 95%. So tick the correct answer. So all are true, right? Blood flow contributes to distribution. Capillary permeability contributes to distribution. Binding of the drugs to the plasma proteins and tissues also contribute to the distribution. Physiological specialized barriers, lipid solubility, and ionization. Alright. Okay, this one is just a picture showing the types of capillaries with different permeability. So for CNS and muscles, it is a continuous capillary. For the glomerulus and the GIT, it is fenestrated. And for the discontinuous capillary, it's liver and marrow. So they have different types of capillary permeability, right? Because I think I asked in the here, blood-brain barrier has fenestrated. This is false, right? It is not a blood-brain barrier. It has, continuous. The capillary is continuous. It doesn't have fenestrate. Okay, that's why it is wrong. I just put the wrong answer there. So now, which of the statement is true regarding blood-brain barrier? So I think I mistakenly put two correct answers. Okay, drug with low molecular weight can cross the blood-brain barrier, and I think I will correct it after this. Then maybe you will get a better result. So I will release the scores right after this. Okay. Okay. Now so drugs with low molecular weight can cross the blood-brain barrier. This is true. Drugs with high water solubility can cross the blood-brain barrier. This is false. Blood-brain barrier has gliovascular membrane. This is true. And blood-brain barrier has fenestrate. This is false. Okay. So I have to change these questions. Okay, to make it false. Okay, now about the volume of distribution. Okay, high plasma protein binding will have high volume of distribution. This is false because high plasma protein binding, the drug cannot be distributed easily into the interstitium. So it should be low volume of distribution. High regional blood flow, high volume of distribution. This is true because high regional blood flow to the highly tissue perfused organs such as the heart, the brain and the kidney will receive more drugs. So that's why it will have high volume of distribution. High lipid solubility will have low volume of distribution. This is false. Okay, because a high lipid solubility, it gets penetrated or permeable to the cell membrane easily. So it will be stored in the fat, and then the volume of distribution reflects the extent of which the drug in the extravascular tissues and not in the plasma. So that's why it is high volume of distribution. Okay, high tissue binding affinity. Okay, some drugs have high tissue bound, so there'll be little drug in the circulation, and the plasma concentration is low, so it will be accumulated and may become toxic. So that's why high tissue binding affinity will have high volume of distribution, which can lead to toxic. Alright. Now, the last one is it is amount of the drug in the body divided by the plasma drug concentration milligram per liter. Okay, so this is true. Okay, this is the formula. VD is equals to dose over plasma concentration, right? So let's say if the drug contain 400 milligram, so the dose, so we divide by the plasma concentration maybe 20, so the volume will be 400 divided by 20 will be 20 liter volume of distribution. Okay. And the volume of distribution actually, the volume of distribution throughout the body. Right, next, first pass metabolism. Okay. Mainly first pass metabolism is oral drugs, right? Because oral drug will usually pass the portal circulation first. Okay, then only it gets into the systemic circulation. So oral drugs will be absorbed from the gut into the liver to undergo first pass metabolism. This is true. First pass metabolism may be bypassed if the drugs is administered orally. This is wrong because oral goes to the liver first and then only to the rest of the blood, the rest of the body. Okay, so the first pass metabolism may be bypassed if we give intravenous. Okay, just like in the picture. Okay, hydrocortisone is one of the drugs that has high first pass metabolism. Okay, you still remember the mnemonics. Okay, nitrates have large pre-systemic metabolism. Nitrates, hydrocortisone, lidocaine, propranolol, salbutamol, and morphine. So hydrocortisone is one of the drugs with high first pass metabolism. Okay, first pass metabolism drugs have high bioavailability. So if you remember, okay, the high bioavailability is for intravenous injection, right? Okay, so first pass metabolism, of course, it has a low bioavailability. Okay, because we give it, through oral. Okay, next. This one, I'm surprised to see wrong answers. Okay, maybe because again, because I wrote tick the correct answer. So okay, it doesn't matter because this is just to make you alert where are your strengths and where are your weaknesses. Okay, so the correct answer for hepatic phase 2 is acetylation and glutathione conjugation. Okay, hydrolysis and oxidation is actually hepatic phase 1 metabolism. Okay, remember the ORH, oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis is the phase 1, and phase 2 the GGG. Okay, the glucuronide, the glutathione, the glycine conjugation, sulfate conjugation, acetylation and methylation. Okay. Now, what are the signs and symptoms of paracetamol poisoning most commonly seen after day 3 of drug injection? Okay, actually, it's a difficult question. I mean, it's a difficult question because you have to tick everything. But okay, again, the correct answers consist of signs and symptoms after 3 days. So not only day 3 but also day 4, day 5 and onwards. Okay, so the answer should be vomiting, jaundice, hepatic failure, hepatic encephalopathy, multi-organ failure and death. Okay, tachycardia and hypotension usually we see it during the first day or second day because it's acute. But once it enters the day 3, patient will have less of that symptoms, but it already affect the liver. So that's why patient may come with jaundice. Okay. Okay, the last 2 questions. Okay, take the correct answers regarding zero order kinetics. Okay, most drugs are eliminated according to zero order kinetics. This is wrong. Okay, because most drugs are eliminated according to the first order kinetics. The rate of elimination is at a fixed rate. This is true. It is concentration independent. True. Okay, opposite to first order, it is concentration dependent. And the plasma half-life, okay, is constant despite increasing the dose. So this is for first order, not zero order. Okay, for zero order, it is, it's not constant. Okay, and the last two. Okay, take the correct answer on drug excretion. Okay, kidney is the most important organ for excreting drugs. True. Glomerular filtration, true. Glomerular filtration moves the drug from the blood to urine. Protein-bound drugs are filtered. This is false. Okay, protein does not get filtered. That's why the name is glomerular filtration. Kan? Did you answer this? Did any of you answer glomerular? Yeah, 14 of you. Okay, 14 of you answered glomerular filtration moves drugs from blood to urine. Okay, this is wrong. Protein-bound drugs are not filtered. Okay, remember, filtration, so the protein gets filtered. It's not, the glomerulus filter the proteins. Okay. Next, active tubular secretion is when the tubular pumps for organic acids and bases move drugs from blood to urine. This is true. Passive-free absorption is when the lipid-soluble drugs move back into the blood. So this is true. And lastly, take the correct answer on management of aspirin poisoning. Most of you answered this correctly, activated charcoal. But remember, you should not forget the IV sodium bicarbonate. Why? Because in aspirin poisoning, you need to alkalize the urine so that the salicylate will get excreted. So that's why we also give sodium bicarbonate in aspirin poisoning. And restrict IV fluids, this is wrong because we should hydrate the patient. We should give more fluids so that the drug will be excreted. And then no additional potassium. Okay, actually we can give potassium. Okay, I think that's all. So I hope you can revise back your lecture on the pharmacokinetics. And best wishes to you, and stay healthy, everyone. Okay. Hopefully you will get good internet access to answer all the assignments and the integrated assessments, inshallah. But if you do have problem, please don't hesitate to contact any of us. Okay, inshallah we'll try to accommodate whatever problems that you have. Okay, so that's all for now. Okay, all the best. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.